Hi everyone, so I've just come to share with you some little envelopes that I've been making. I got the idea from Maria House of Crafts on YouTube, and she was making envelopes out of cardstock and coffee dyed papers, just randomly making different designs of envelopes, and I had been making some. I haven't glued this one yet, so I made that one and that one. Of that side, sorry. And that one's a little bit lighter, but this one I added gesso to, this one I didn't, and that one I've started decorating more to that. So instead of using traditional stamps, if you don't have like the big mixed media stamps, I was using my embossing folders and using the raised side of them to create the designs on the envelopes that I've been making. So you have to use, if you're using embossing folders, you have to use the raised side to put your inks on. So I've got these three, they're all, oh, what's this one? This one's called Budding Vine, and the other two don't have names, but they're from Sizzix. It's like a leafy type one, and then there's that one as well. I hope that's picking up the shape of it, but there you go, that's probably better. And then I'm going to use my bubble wrap to put some dots here, there and everywhere, and I'm also going to use one stamp. I'm going to use some gesso. I've got this one. I've got these three Memento inks. That one is Love Letter, this one is Cottage Ivy. I'm going to use that for the stamp, and then I'm going to use some potting soil, and I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to just use distress ink, vintage photo distress ink, to ink around the edges. So let's make a start on this. I've made such a mess, it's unbelievable. So I'm just going to start with I've had to bring the camera right down because it's hard to see the stamping otherwise for some reason. I've already done a video and it didn't come out that great. So I'm just going to fold it, check in, and then fold it down to give me my envelope flap. I'm going to trim a bit off now. I've set everything on top of my ruler. Just going to take a little bit off the edge, just about that much. Then I'm going to create a little bit of an angle of a flap. Just tear that off, and I've got that shape now. Simples, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. A brush, that's a dry brush from the gesso, and I'm only going to put a little tiny bit of gesso here, there and everywhere, just like so. And I will have to put my heat tool on to dry that. I don't want to sit and wait for all that to dry. It does dry ever so quick anyway. This is something you see ARTYmaze do. Get the gesso out. So just put a little bit down there. I'm just going to quickly run the heat tool over that, so sorry about the noise for a minute. There we go. Right, I'm going to start with my embossing folders, and it doesn't really matter which one because you're just making a background. I'm going to start with that, and like I said, you gotta remember to use the raised side. So I'm going to start with the Cottage Ivy, and I'm just going to rub it on there. Just going to lay this out flat, and I'm just going to randomly press down it does come out quite faint, but once you start adding the other, what's that, bit of ink, once you start adding the other ones, you just have to press down on it a little bit. I have to add a little bit more. I think it dries quite quick on these surfaces. And I'm going to do the inside. So that's that one done. I'll clean that up later. So we've got some green swirly marks now. Now I'm going to go in with the leaf. I should have done the leaf green, but hey ho. Oh, I'm going to use blue. And remember to use the raised side. And doesn't matter whether it's upside down. Oh, a little bit of that came off the ink pad. With the distress inks, you find you've got to put more on all the time. So just random stamping. I hope this is clearer than my last video. So I'll just put that to one side, and now I'm going to use the, whoops, I don't know where to put things now, I've made such a mess. The red. Just try and make sure I don't get that, them bits on there. I think the red is actually a little bit more vibrant, as you can see. And it doesn't really matter how you do it. A little bit more of the red. And you know, you can use even when you use the same the same embossing folders and things, you're never going to get the same design. A little bit more. And some down here. Just got to press on it because obviously you haven't got it on a stamp block or anything. See if anything comes off of that. It has, and we got some there. Then I'm going to use my, where if it's just gone, my bubble wrap. As you can see, I hope that's clearer. And use my archival ink. I'm just going to put that on the bubble wrap. Just going to lay that flat and then just randomly stamp with the bubble wrap. And then on there. The reason I'm not doing that is because obviously I'm going to close that up, so there's no point wasting any product on that. Then that's that. My stamp, what have I done with that? Had it a minute ago. There it is. No idea how much mess I've made just making envelopes. So I need a scratch piece because I'm going to stamp off, like off and then on, just to give a faint mark, and a little bit off the page there, and there. Then off, and then a little bit up there. And then I have a butterfly somewhere. Right, this is really messy now. Just ink up around the edges, which I'll do really, really quickly. just a fun project to do. And you know, I know a lot of people are stuck indoors at the moment, and you probably won't be able to get out to your craft stores and buy up scrapbooking paper, and this is just a little bit of fun. A little bit messy, but I'll probably go over this once I've finished putting my butterfly on. And I just need to fold that back to do inside there. Cool, if you could see the mess I've made. I tidied up about 20 minutes ago, and you wouldn't think it if you could see everything lying around me. Terrible, terrible mess. Right, so I would glue that, which I will glue right now. And I should have done this on a live, really, then I wouldn't have to rush. Kind of like doing them lives now. I will sew around this off camera, and I did have a butterfly. Just ink around there. This was just something I already had. Just going to use it as a stopper. About there, you could put something else on there, but I'm not going to, just for the sake of this. You can obviously use your own imagination to do more decoration on these. I'm just going to try and find the centerpiece here, just keeping, and I only glued like across here and here, so that obviously you're not going to glue the whole thing down. So there we have it, something quick and easy to make using embossing folders and bubble wrap and different coloured inks. Little bit of bling on there, and then that one is almost done. I might do other things to it when I actually go to put them into a journal, but there you go. So I've made a few of them. Quite enjoyed doing that. You see, I've used a lot of blue butterflies, don't I? So yeah, there we have it. I enjoyed making them. I hope you'll have a go and maybe try doing one yourself. Any colours, use any colours you like. You don't have to use colours I've used. So there we have it. I'm just doing that because I might take a photo of that, or them. Anyway, I'll do that later. So any questions, just ask, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.